first time I ever had to snatch that back again. All right, shall we resume here now, maybe? All right, let's try that again. All right, let's just sit nice and tall. Feel your sit bones on your chair or wherever you are sitting. Feel your back nice and straight. Make a connection. We're going to work on our root today and our heart. So make a connection between your root and your heart chakra. Kind of feel that there's a polarity right there. There's an existing string. There's a nice wave of like a heat wand connecting the two. Take a nice softening breath in. And then do an ah breath out. One more. Pull it in through your root all the way up to your heart. Exhale. So picture your root chakra right now as like a spinning red light, like a vortex. It's spinning and it's got energy flowing within it, and it's a nice warm red light. Just picture that spinning right now and feel your sit bones, feel you're grounded to the earth. Feel that sense of security and safety and your strength within yourself. Feel that nice, warm sense of security. Now start to pull it up with each slow breath. Connect up into the heart chakra. Feel the heart chakra now as a green light, a green vortex, spinning. This is your sense of love, your gratitude. This is where all of the intersecting channels, strength, energy, all the cells come in and meet at this power station. Picture that green light emanating out as an aura of love, generosity, compassion, all around you, your aura now. It's green, it's warm, it's strong, it's compassionate, it's sharing. Caring for others. More importantly, for right now, tonight, caring for yourself. Feel the connection. Now take one hand and put it down low on your belly and one up on your heart chakra. Feel the warmth in your hands, feeling the energy coming from these two energy stations. You can repeat to yourself, or you can whisper these few affirmations that I'm going to say, and then you'll just repeat them. And again, you can whisper them, or you can say them just inside. We're going to repeat them 3 times. I am rooted in the love that surrounds me. I am rooted in the love that surrounds me. I am rooted in the love that surrounds me. I am peace within myself to share with the universe. I am peace within myself to share with the universe. I am peace within myself to share with the universe. I am loved wholeheartedly by myself and the others I choose to have with me. I am loved wholeheartedly by myself and the others I choose to have around me. I am loved wholeheartedly by myself and those I choose to surround me. I have love and character and strength to share in abundance. I have love and character and strength to share in abundance. I have love, character, and strength to share in abundance. I am safe where I am right now. I am safe right where I am right now. I am safe right where I am right now. I choose to share with the universe all that I have tonight. I choose to share with the universe all that I have tonight. I choose to share with the universe all that I have tonight. I spread peace and gratitude. I spread peace and gratitude. I spread peace and gratitude. Now take both of your hands and put them over your heart. Feel that expansiveness just by saying a few words that resonate with you within your cells, within the blood flow in your body. The heart feels the vibration and it sends it out into the world. Right now, depending on our day, how it went, our future, what we see for ourselves, and what's going on in the world, let's send our love, our gratitude, our compassion, our strength, our security, and our courage out into the world as peace. Send up the dove. Picture your heart making one whole rotation around the earth, spreading everything you have, sharing it with all those around the world right now that are meditating at the same time. We're all exchanging this vibration. Accept their love right now and send yours back out to them. Feel the strength, feel the vibrations you have to offer everyone. Every time you take a minute just to feel it and spread it to someone else. Be grateful for your strength, your serenity, your love, your compassion, and your safety. Namaste, ladies.
Namaste.
I needed that little grounding.
You have a very good meditation voice, Debbie.
Oh, thank
Very
you.
mellow. Never quite heard it before. You
Yeah.
almost had me fall asleep. It's
Wait
very
till we go
soothing.
into like a 45-minute one. We'll all be out.
Yeah, seriously, that was great.
That was a
Very
very nice,
soothing.
loving kindness meditation.
Yes, it gives that connection too, as we were talking of the love languages. And we get to see that our love languages and the way that we interact with other people is a reflection on how much love and things have come our way and gone our way, and what we find as important to us to support others, to support ourselves, to be able to accept these love languages, these acts of love by someone else without judgment, because we see things and we feel and kind of interpret and internalize things that we find important, but someone else's love language is theirs and theirs uniquely to them. So they portray things or accept things in different manners than we necessarily might think as the right way, the wrong way. So as you kind of have fun doing these, the personality tests we do, the love language tests that we do, it just makes you more able to see yourself for who you are and begin to learn to interact with people differently, to interact with your group, to interact with whoever your household members are. You can even interact with pets or, things, because your action to them is also felt. So it's the different ways that we get to kind of give these examples of our love and be able to pull them in. And it's pretty dynamic when you're in a group or you're in a work setting or something. You start to appreciate little things that might go unnoticed, or things that might not really be appreciative to you because it's not your love language, but to someone else, it could be a really big day, a big deal. And it could like make their day by recognizing that little act that they did or said, or maybe touched you, or that it's very important to them, even though you're not seen in that manner. And then for you, the way that you portray your love or your love language, all those little things are important to you. And it doesn't necessarily have to be noticed, but internalize the good feeling you get when you are doing whatever your love language is, instead of just ignoring it or, poo-pooing it or, not being aware of it. It's very important to interact with people this way, because you actually have a vibration, as we felt when we were meditating. There's a vibration in our body for every emotion we have, every tone of voice we have, people that, come in and out of our energy. It's really profound sometimes. And the more you stay in tune to your own body and the interaction that it's having on you, the health starts to become just unrecognized and easy, like things just start to come in and out, and we are able to kind of do things non-judgmentally, which is really, really important these days. Um, I'm going to get into this in a few minutes, but we have kind of gotten to the point where we don't recognize everyone for their worth or who they come to the table as. We're very judgmental. We're very materialistic now. We're into status. We're into all of these things, but every person on every level plays that part in life, and plays that part most likely in your life or in your, in your community. So within your community, the old books, it takes a village, but it takes a village to survive. It doesn't just take a village to raise a child. And as we get so stuck on status and material and money and things, we really lose track of that connection with the person for who they are and what they're bringing to the table. If someone comes in and cleans your house, like, oh, they're just a worker, but they made your life and that day so nice because you didn't have to do it. And it's clean and it's done. Or the person who hands you a coffee in the morning, they made that coffee for you, and they might be working at that coffee shop because they really love it. So you're drinking a cup of love. I mean, all these little things sound silly. What about the person who walks your dog? Like, you can't do that, and they can, and they probably really love it. So we're exchanging these love connections and interactions, but we're kind of oblivious to all these things now. Like the guy who, this morning I was listening, and it was just starting to rain here and kind of icky, and I heard the garbage men go by. Like, who wants to do that job? Not many people, but that person is doing us a favor and making our life easier. So all these little things that we don't always pay attention to all the time, they are part of our life. And that spinning vortex, our heart and our root chakra, that vortex goes out. The bigger we broaden it, and accepting people for people, and getting back to that connection with everyone, is then our vortex gets bigger. That our ability to adjust and actually make ourselves the better, the better version of ourselves, the vortex just keeps getting bigger and bigger because we allow it. We're strengthening it. We're increasing it. We're like bringing that out to other people. So when we were just meditating and we were connecting, if you ever go on any of the meditation sites, you'll notice there's usually a drop down or something where you can see where all the other people in the universe, like everybody who's joining in with you. And the more, like, the power of prayer, but that power of kindness and love and all that, as you interact with the other energies coming in and out, you are spreading that vortex a lot higher and higher and outward and outward. And so community, which now going from this into community is a huge part of existence in humans and any kind of mammal for as long as the dawn of time. And COVID has kind of really put us back, but the way that we have evolved into a technology universe, and we've kind of segmented ourselves into this, like these little boxes, where back in the day, it truly took a village to do everything. Life was about the village. Your work was about the village. Survival was about the village, and health was about a village. It was, everybody had their part, which, kind of gave in to the part that wasn't your expertise, but was someone else's, and everyone took care of everyone. And we have really, really strongly, in a bad way, in my opinion, gotten away from this way of this beautiful way of life, in my opinion. Picture when you were younger, like you went to grandma's house and there was probably 15 of you there, or more, and everybody got together, or you opened your door and neighbors and stuff, everybody had a connection, usually in a good way. There's always that one bad neighbor, or that, maybe you were the bad neighbor, but there's there was a connection. There was a connection between our souls, and people are isolating themselves, but we're also isolating our interaction in a health that's connecting to our mind, our body, and our soul, which is really, really important in health and achieving health. So if you look at the blue zones, I think we've gone through this a few times, but I find it fascinating. The blue zones, which are, I think there's 7 of them in the different parts of the world. They all have different diets. They all have to do with, their geographical, location. But the most important part of the longevity of the blue zones are their communities. It's the ability to enjoy whatever's going on in your life, whatever, you could be totally poverty stricken. But if you enjoy other people and are around and actually kind of interact with people more often throughout the day, that's just your life, you live longer, you have less disease, you have less chronic inflammation. It's the body's ability to navigate with these vibrations and things that you're giving yourself. So as we've isolated ourselves into these little tiny pockets, and first with the ingenious invention of cubicles, like offices and things used to be open or like interactive, and then it got to cubicles, and then from there the cubicles got smaller and smaller, and the interaction got less and less and less, and with conveniences and things were kind of like pushed away from each other.
But yeah, but now it's all, well, before it all was switching back to open workstations. Nobody has their own desk even.
Well,
you just sit down at a big table or pick a table. And now, of course, everybody's back in their own homes.
right.
And now you've got the metaverse, avatars, the Matrix. So
absolutely.
it's bizarre.
We need technology to expand it and continue growth, and to help certain people get to certain places and survive. But it's also part of the human anatomy. Like, we want to always evolve. We want to evolve. We want to expand. But we're losing track and we're losing pace of keeping our own inward health really vibrant and like optimized and evolving. We're evolving technology and isolation brings disease. It brings depression. It brings down a dullness in the body. If you go back to any of the Eastern philosophies and theories, thousands of years, everybody had value. Everybody had their own unique value, and they all brought it to the table. And everybody's value was, it had purpose. It had like this enormity within that community. And no one, aside from, well, those, we won't even get into that. So
did you see Encanto, the new Disney movie?
No, not yet.
It's all about that. About
I loved
recognizing
it.
the different value of different people
Yes,
and
and
how it all impacts the community.
but
Yeah, I watched it.
these, I know, I actually, I hadn't even heard of it now, so now I'm going to.
Disney Channel.
I know, I loved it. Yeah.
I don't know if I have a Disney Channel. Now I have to find it. Now I have
So
to
the guy who wrote a lot of the music and scores for Hamilton.
Oh,
Mhm.
yes.
Yeah, anyway,
That's him.
he wrote the stuff for Encanto also.
Oh, okay. Now I
So it's
definitely.
very clever, and yeah, it's pretty cool.
So humans are an ultra social species. So this is from Natha Krishna. And in 1990, now I'm reading from some notes. So Lakota holy man Dalai Lama explained the habit of commerce and community is in the teaching. When someone was so poor he couldn't afford a tent, a horse, or a blanket, he would receive it all as a gift. The civil society had a culture ethos of connectivity. In 1998, Integral Yoga founder Swami Satyanarayana was asked what was the difference between illness and wellness. He walked to the blackboard, wrote the two words, illness, wellness. Then he circled the I and the we. He explained identification with I, me, my was the sense of separation and isolation that makes you separate from everyone and separate from the essential nature of interconnectivity. Who we are is in relationships. So we are all kind of connected and pulled together and given worth and given value by who we are and what we are within a group, within a connected group. So when we meditated before and we were sending out our energy, we were connecting to this gigantic, massive, unified field, which is this beautiful thing that we can come to anytime we feel that we want to connect with someone and we're alone or we don't have anyone to reach out at the time. Take 2 minutes and just sit and meditate for a minute, like connect. You can connect with anyone in the world at that moment by that vibration, by the energy. Like energy is, it travels. And as we connect, you can be connected with someone just by taking a few minutes to yourself and meditate and connect with someone anywhere in the world, wherever you want to journey to at that time. Sometimes it's kind of fun to just picture, like I used to sit and meditate, and sometimes I would just send, I would like picture this little heart and I would send it like out to Glenn in California. You know, maybe he was working on a project or something, or, you know, you get worried about your kids sometimes, are they doing this or that or whatever. And it would make me feel so good, but I felt connected to him. I felt he was feeling my energy. Like he knew that I was interacting with him and that I was doing this. And it makes you feel better, which connects to that vibration within yourself that actually gives the cells that vibration to carry and open, rather than go into that restrictive state, which happens, which goes into our digestion, which starts that whole that whole insulin, everything imbalance as we get into a restricted state. So if you're ever feeling like a little bit that kind of a not connected to anyone or something, take a minute and just meditate and send it out like as far as you can send.
And that includes sending it to people who have already died and moved on.
Absolutely. My mother-in-law was someone so special to me, and she was just wonderful. And my grandmother, these are the two women that I'm very connected with. And every time I'm like out in nature or doing something, I almost can feel them like they're sending me a message. So I send it right back. Like I connect, and there is a force field that is going on between, and it makes you feel better. You're giving yourself that vibration of love and security and safety and that strength that someone's with you, someone's got your back. So you don't have to be in a a yoga meditation environment to do this. You can just do it by yourself and connect. And at the same time, you're giving yourself that we rather than the I. You're connected to any part somewhere in the universe. And as Laura said, or even out that has already passed. And as we start to really begin to recognize our love language, our service here to someone's service here to us, that connectivity, that directional pull, that spanda, it's going out, it's coming in, that going in, coming out. And the more we come in practice of doing this, the more we take that time. Sometimes it's just total chaos and you need to come within, but as you meditate and come in, you're connecting to people who are in that same kind of force field right now of like grounding down. They need that security, that safety. So you're connecting with them. So A, you're not alone. B, you're getting more vibration that calms your body down. And as you start calming your body down, that's when health starts to come in. That's the wellness, the we, instead of illness with an I, which as you isolate, you really start to break down the tissue in your body. You break down the channels, our cells break down. It becomes this, spiral. Kevin's mom right now is in remember she broke her ankle and she's in a facility right now, but they're going to bring her home for this reason alone. the connectivity to people, the dullness that happens in your body when you feel just disconnected to your stuff, your people, your things, it's a real physical impact on your body. So the more you can reach out to others or interact with others, it creates this sense of happiness, this belonging, this, compassion for others. And it begins that healing process much, much faster than being isolated or alone, because then you start to kind of withdraw and come within. The whole view of the separate self is a toxic lie. It's built in trauma. It's built in trauma to being a member of the culture. And it's not right. It's wrong. That's Dan Siegel, Dr. Dan Siegel. He is an author and a lecturer on how our relationships shape us. And I find that this very true, very fascinating, that as we choose to, who we connect to, again, this can bring on good habits and bad habits as we migrate towards people who, like, if we want to stay stuck in what we're doing and not evolve our habits like we are on our path, if you stay in a group that is kind of mindset and like-minded at that time, they want to pull you in. They really kind of don't want you to leave the group. They don't want you to exceed their levels. If you really think about it for a minute, as you start to evolve and change some things, you're going to get like some adverse, kind of thoughts, feelings, things from your little group, or why are you doing that? Or why can't you do this anymore? Or what, you start to get these negative feedbacks, and oh my gosh, that's the cutest little puppy. So
I apologize, but he's been running circles in this room right now. That's why I keep muting and leaving the video up, like in circles. Sorry.
It's very, very cute.
Adorable.
Sorry, keep going.
So cute. So we know that we're connected to the people we're around, and they either accelerate us or decelerate us. They can actually help accelerate our aging habits, our habits of inflammation, because as we dull the body down and become stagnant, that's when we just start saying, oh, well, this is an age-related disease, or this is just what happens. And that's not the way we're designed. That is not true. We are designed to keep evolving, to age with grace, and be able to still like move our muscles and our legs and hike and walk and do whatever. It's who we choose to be around with. If we are choosing to be with a group that's dynamic and moving and kind of challenging us and getting us up and going, this is the path that's going to accelerate us. As we stay kind of stagnant and sit in and more, the body starts to deteriorate.
I don't think my sister will ever get old because she's 62, but everyone she hangs out with is young, 20 plus years younger than her.
Yeah.
So she's never going to be like an old person ever.
And it keeps, well, the mindset, because it keeps challenging you. As we know, we have the wisdom, the younger 20, 40 years younger than us, whether they have some of the technology and things that we need. They have the vibrancy still to life. They still have that curiosity to check things out and do so. This is another perfect example of why a village works. Mm-hmm. Newborn to the oldest wisdom of, like, the chief or whomever, everybody is respected for their part in the village. So within our group, we're lucky enough that we're in this mindset, the same mindset, to where we support each other. We all bring something, we interact with each other, but we also are challenging each other. So as you challenge someone, or you give them information that makes them think, or makes them say, maybe I don't want to do this that way anymore, or do with that, you're up leveling your own like evolution. You're helping yourself while encouraging someone else to continue. So this whole sense of community, this commune, this ability to be a part of whatever community we're in, we really have to look to and be very cautious of staying stagnant or being within a group that's just not serving you, or actually might be bringing you down, or is very negative. And know that we have the choice to stay there or acknowledge that it's no longer serving, and you're going to either choose to leave or go within a different community that is more supportive of your beliefs, of your, your ideals and your own health. As we know, all of this now is, thank goodness it's finally really, really documented that all these stressors, all of these things within our life is deteriorating our health right down to our physical body tissue. And within a fun, that old thought of community and all, like, people had more of what we call like the wild habits. Like, people were outside getting dirty, like you let your children go out. There was always those, moms that were super like, oh my gosh, she's getting dirty or whatever. That ability to go out, get dirty, get things under your nails, like go out and touch trees and like swipe things.
Sweat.
Yes. And then
When we
hug
were little.
your dog and your cat. All of those habits, or they weren't even habits, that way of life, that actually gave health to the body. It changes your DNA. When you are in a group, you're exchanging your microbiome. Like, everybody, they say that moms actually have a more diverse, school teachers, moms, things that actually touch and interact with children who were out dirty and are preparing the food. Anyone who's preparing food as well, the more you touch the diversity of things, that's why it's so important for us to like touch our food and when we're making it, and all of that, that's all knowledge, that's all intelligence from the food. It's microbiome coming from the dog, the cat, the fish, the dirty little kid, or so all of that helps strengthen our own immunity. It changes our DNA. So we become sterile, we become isolated, we become kind of like unchallenged sometimes within that stagnant dull. So if you can find a way, like say you're in an isolated state, as most of us, kind of are right now within this little COVID, but thank God masks, at least a few things we're happy you're getting that a little bit, little restriction lifted. Venture out a little bit more. Don't be, so afraid. Like, maybe take a book, or if you're doing something, go to a coffee shop or go to the, somewhere. If you're not in the point where you're back working with people, whatever, make it a point to go out and walk in a park or something. Go outside where there are people and also nature. People are out doing things now. In certain, maybe by you, Maureen, Colleen, even you, Laura, too. Gardens are starting to happen again. Like, it's almost season. It's not season here yet, but I'm getting the itch. Like, touch the dirt, go out to a tree, like get a little bit dirty, or go out into that community, as I said, if you can, and interact with other people and just find that sense of, it's like a well-being. It's this kind of this crazy feeling you get, even if you don't know the people, but when you become part of their energy, as long as it's good energy, it's uplifting and it's therapeutic. And
I have to say, feel very, very fortunate with this little job that I have, because I have to like go out of my way just to be like super gracious and like really nice to people. And I strike up the most wonderful conversations with people. And it's my job when these people leave just to have like the best experience.
Yes.
And it makes me
Yes.
feel so good to connect with somebody on that level. And there's just so many niceties that go like between us. And it gives me that like energy and it makes me feel like amazing that I touch somebody, in a positive light. And like I'm forced, it's my job. I'm forced to be that way every day, but I'm getting such benefit from it.
Yes.
Otherwise, I would be exactly what you said, more of a shut in and closed, and you have to drag my ass outside, even though I didn't want to. Like, it's forcing me to be,
yes,
relevant and it's doing wonders for me. It really is. I love it.
Absolutely. It calms the soul, the mind, the body, and just that that gratitude you feel when someone says, oh, thank you, or that was wonderful, whatever. It's a vibration. It's a
Yeah.
healing vibration. It's an
I don't understand the Karens out there in the world. I just don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't get it. What do you gain from being miserable and cruel to people? It's just insane to me.
I agree. It's
I don't know. That takes way too much energy to be cruel and miserable and, you know.
You're constantly seeing stuff like on Instagram or whatever. I just saw something yesterday. Some whack job woman was in, you might have seen it in a Walmart somewhere, and there were like these BLM candles everywhere. She literally picked up like 20 candles and just like, I couldn't hear her rant, but she was throwing one after the other down the hallway, crash, broken glass
Oh my
everywhere.
God.
She was just ranting. It's like, what, why? So crazy.
That is, yeah. So many people like that are just so angry. And then they hold anger, and then they hold resentment, and then they start telling that story. And then the story gets bigger and bigger and so far away from how it started. And then they hold more anger and anger and anger, and it just snowballs and snowballs. And it's so past what the initial anger was all about. And it creates, total havoc on people around them, but it creates such turmoil within themselves. And it's a really, really bad way to harbor anger and frustration and all that. And it breaks down the body so fast. That is not a positive stressor. That is an absolute negative stressor.
Yeah.
But
Marie, why all the sniffling? Do you have a cold? Or is it, it's not allergy season there, is it? Or is it?
I was just gonna go get a tissue. I was outside today, and I'll just share this because I was feeling off today. So everybody, they're doing all the mowing of lawns. I'm allergic to cut grass. I know it sounds crazy, but I'm so allergic to fresh cut grass. So I said I wanted to sit out back. But what do you think they were doing? All that. I am literally like,
I can hear it in your throat.
Yeah. And that's really what it is. And I'll be right back. I needed a tissue. Sorry.
Get your tissue.
Oh, that's funny. I think and one time way back, I thought running in college or something that I was allergic to cut grass. And I'd be like, oh my gosh, probably just that wet grass gets stuck like in your lungs and in just kind of.
I have no allergies at all. It is full on pollen central here right now. You know,
that's what Katie said. It's yellow snow.
Great. Although it did rain last night, so that's good because it kind of makes it go away faster.
Where are you again, Colleen?
Charleston.
Yeah, it's I'm up in North Carolina in Durham, Raleigh.
Oh, you are? Oh, I didn't know that.
And
Right.
yeah, it's starting up here now. Everything's blooming, and I think in another week we'll have all of that yellow pine pollen crapola that you guys are in the middle of.
We started a good week and a half ago and been in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Katie said. We're close to, she's up in Columbia, yellow snow.
Yeah.
It's like, oh,
you want to keep the windows open so bad because it's so beautiful, but literally if you open your windows, it's just a coat of dust, everything on the inside of your house too.
Like, yeah, it's nasty. That's what we have too. I hate it, but.
Well, I guess I'll be further up the up the chain there from you girls.
A little bit, right?
Yeah, it'll be coming here too.
But you don't get all that. You don't get that yellow stuff, right? I think there's so many pine. Do you?
Yeah, it depends.
I think it's more
depends on how close you are to the pine and those.
I think it's pine yellow. Yeah.
We get green. It's that it's cedar, and I think it's an oak. It's ridiculous. It's like lime green.
Like a powder, like dust, like lime green. Oh, really?
Yep. On everything.
Huh.
Yeah.
All right. I just found that really, really important. I thought it was fun. So if you want to reach into more of the love language, you can kind of do it. Hopefully, Colleen, you can go on and find.
Yeah, I'm gonna
maybe do it on your iPad or something later.
What's that?
Maybe try like the link will come up on your iPad easier or something. But well, no, if your the phones are like amazing nowadays.
I did it on my phone. It was
I
pretty,
just looked
it was
this
good.
website up on my computer. Maybe it'll
Okay.
work on my computer. Yeah. I don't know.
But if we just take away from tonight the awareness of the ability to share our information within our energy and be connected with someone that we might not even know and might not even be here any longer, that it creates a sense of wellness within ourselves, and learning what your love language is can be pretty viable when you're working within a community, within a group. What you're sharing, what they're sharing, what you're giving, what they're giving, back and forth, you start to understand and respect, and you actually start to cherish someone's little tiny act that might have gone totally unnoticed. And it begins to resonate with you, which gives you, again, that inner tranquility, that happiness. It's like turning that happiness button on. Someone might not recognize, but their act is like service or something. So every time they do one little tiny thing for you, now you're going to look at it like, wow, this means a lot to that person that they did this for me. And you doing something for them, or doing something for someone else, or hugging someone, or saying words of positivity to someone. So all the different love
Pay it
languages.
forward.
Yeah, you
Forward.
bring someone else's day up, you bring someone else's vibration up. Maybe they were having some really horrible things going on, and you could do one tiny little gesture, or touch them, or hug them, or do something, and change their vibration within their day, which actually starts to change their health, can actually turn around. So I always find that really fascinating, that we're, touching on the different, the forgiveness and the regret. Like, you've got to, it's not just so like one path. There's so many paths that we have to really keep tuning into as we're going around. This course is, like I always say, it's that one revolution around the sun. It's that one whole, it's recognizing, it's feeling, it's knowing, it's changing with the seasons. We're going into the detox next. And as we take that one full rotation around the sun, we start to, we're able to tap into all these portions of ourself, and start to recognize, instead of things just going unnoticed, with things starting to slip away in that isolation, or that focus on, work or technology or something, we really need to start getting back into that wildness about ourselves, and really learning all of these things that are really important to that whole entire version of ourselves, and how important it is to achieving that evolution that we're trying, this personality shift, this change. It's all these little compartments within ourselves that are important. So as we go through them, we just keep adding more tools to the toolbox, more recognition, more layers of that onion is coming off, like different things are being tapped into, being added to, given away, taken away. We want to get rid of some, and we want to bring in others, and really recognize what our real potential is, and challenge ourselves and challenge each other to keep reaching for them, to keep knowing it's just getting us better. It's actually reversing illness and all this kind of maybe decay that's going on within our body. We're rebuilding all of these, even our nightly, our weekly talks and chats, and it's actually reversing bad decaying that's going on within our bodies, because we're interacting in a positive way, and we're enjoying it, and we're actually kind of pushing ourselves and thinking and kind of going outside the box. We start to just take little tiny chips away at the decay that may have gone on within our body if we didn't recognize the tools and things that we have to build ourselves back up, or to continue on a better path. So why don't we leave it on that today? Let you have any questions? Do we have any comments to add? Anything you would like to add or address?
The detox thing, you had ended up sending me something, but it was only like to join, but it didn't give me any background on what
Okay.
what I'm going to experience.
Okay, I'll
Should
read
I
you
just-
the very first one.
Should
first
I
detox.
just look on the Ayurvedic whatever the link and look it up, and there'll be something on the internet that'll tell
You
me. what-
can, but I have like the
You do?
actual,
You have-
yeah,
'cause I didn't
I'll
get
send
that.
a link to like the introduction and stuff to you.
Okay, because I didn't actually read anything about what it was exactly.
Okay, we are
So-
decluttering life.
Should, we talked about the Thrive Market last time and
Mhm.
I joined and I bought a bunch of stuff.
Mhm.
Do
Yeah.
we need to do the same kind of thing?
Yeah, you can do that. We're going to go into it a little bit differently this time too. So I'm going to, especially because we are already on the path of intermittent fasting and the psychology of it and the value of the different. We're going to get into that and more some challenging, more kind of like different habits and things. It's not going to be so focused on the food and the
Okay.
prep and all of that. Although, yes, we will be taking away as much as we can of anything processed, barcoded, packaged, boxed, all of this, trying to prepare our own food, but we're going to keep it really, really simple. So the more you can bring in natural ingredients, whole ingredients, juices, things like that, we're going to concentrate on that and make it really simple and not have to go get a bunch of, of course, your vegetables and things are always, that could be the standard.
Mhm.
Everybody has a tongue scraper, right? And a
Body brush.
oils, body brush, like things like that. So I'm just working on it again today, kind of changing some things in and out of like what you'll need for the detox. So it's gonna be really simple, but we're going to make, especially for the few that are actually leveling up, like Victoria's coming back into. So like a few people that have done it in the past, you're going to kind of up level the last one and kind of challenge yourself a little bit more. We're going to do a few wild habits, like things like this. Go in and
So, I understand. I should say I don't understand a lot about the tongue scraping and I don't have one. And I was just using a knife. I mean, not a sharp knife,
Right,
but
just
like a butter knife, like a butter knife.
if you go on to, you could either go onto the website or you can go on to, you're a member of the original, I think I added you in the very beginning, to the Facebook group.
Mhm.
The original habits course, the holistic wellness habits course. If you go into that, if you have like extra time just to like scroll through, if you go into the habits, habit number 3 is start the day right, something like of that nature. It goes in and it'll tell you the tongue scraping. It has worksheets, how important it is to really know and identify what your normal tongue looks like and how it's changing. Maybe you were doing something, maybe you're dehydrated, maybe you're
Well, yeah, but you can do that just by looking at it. You don't have to scrape it.
well, you're not scraping hard. So that regular residue that we see in the morning, you're trying to
Right.
get that out of your body rather than re-ingest it. So you lightly take and you want to notice, is there more?
Now, how
Is
do
there
you use
less?
a butter knife? Because a butter knife, you got to hold.
I'm just
sideways
trying to
do that,
picture it
and a tongue
myself.
scraper, you do this way, not this way.
If you're ever without a tongue scraper and you're traveling
But
or
it's
use a
something,
spoon.
CBS,
Take a
there you
spoon.
go. That's much better than a.
and just
butter
go down the tongue lightly, very lightly. So you want to start recognizing your tongue patterns. Is there redness? Is there here? And within the Facebook and on the website, there are tongue charts. There's like all kinds of things within there that give you the kind of how and the whys. And it goes all the way back through all 10 habits. So, which we will start to revisit again, because once you have like this crazy other knowledge and things going out, you go back into, the basic dinacharya and stuff, and it brings on a new meaning. So, if you're not, as soon as we get off, I'm going to look onto the Facebook. And if you're not on that original group, if you didn't join or you didn't get the invite or something like that, I'm going to resend it. It's old videos, it's old things, but the courses, how are they in what's the word that they're called? Not the, they changed it now. I'll think of it in a second. It's in, it's like the course, and then it has each one of almost like chapters. And you can go in there and go in and look at the worksheets and the different information that's per each one. I forget the new word they changed it to. I forget what it's called now, but I'll send that. All right, ladies.
Well, thank you. Thank you. for
Remember
that
your love
wonderful
language and connect with some community and kind of share interaction and dirt and germs and
Well, now I want to find out what my love language is. You got me curious.
yeah.
I'm gonna take a shower and I'm gonna figure that out.
You can do the eye doctor lab too. That one's a little bit longer than the 5, the one with the 5 in the heart love language. It's a little bit, you'll get a different perspective. I did that one, and then there was one other that I did. And it's the same, but you'll see, one's just a little bit different than the
I
other.
like how they changed the question just a little bit with, you know,
Yes.
what's more meaningful and what's more, you're like, oh, well, you
Yeah.
know, and then at the end, and I
Well-
wasn't surprised with mine at all. And I was like,
Yeah, me either.
yep, that's me, because that's the one thing people say. I'm like, I just, you know, mine is time, like quality of time. Like, I just want to, you know, let's go do something. Let's go do something. Let's go do something. Like, that's what I do.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that is so cool. But
Yeah.
and I shared it with
Well-
my husband. He goes, oh my God, that's so true, because you always want me with you. I'm like,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, that's
love is
love.
time.
Yes,
You know, one of the
exactly.
things that I didn't like about that, the 35 item one, I don't look at it, but I didn't look at the other one, but you know, they have thumbs up and thumbs down. And
Yeah.
to me, thumbs down means I don't like it.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't want it. Right.
Instead
And
of
that's
less
why all
than.
of mine were the 2 green ones, the 1 thumb or a 2 thumb. And so I think that the way that it's presented, when I've done those before, they didn't use thumbs. It was a scale of, you know, 1 to 5.
Yeah. Yep.
And it's like, how important is this to you?
Yeah.
So it's not, do I like it or do I not like it? It's how important is it to you?
Yeah.
And
I think
found
the
that
first
if-
one was, it has more meaning to me, or it's more important to me. Yeah.
Right. What's
Yeah,
more
so I
meaningful
think
to
that
you? And I
pulls
like
out
that
the
one.
nuances better than
Yeah.
the one that uses the thumbs up and the thumbs down. That's what I'm saying. Who's going to say no to any of those things? know?
True.
Was that the iLab one, the doctor?
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't do that
I
one.
remember
it had thumbs up
reading,
and
though.
thumbs down on it.
Okay, I thought
So-
reading with it had wording within it.
Well, it does. I mean, it has the question, but then it just has 2 thumbs down, 1 thumbs down, neutral, 1 thumb up, or 2 thumbs up. And I'm like, you know,
That is so strange. I don't think mine had that. I
Oh.
moved the bar right or left,
oh
and it
yeah,
had a
no,
question.
no. I did it on the cell phone. I don't know if that made a difference, but it
I'll
was
try that
thumbs
one.
up
I
or
did the
thumbs
other
down.
one. So
Yeah,
I'll see
that's-
what that one does,
Yeah.
if it does thumbs up or thumbs down.
Yeah.
But I
that's-
guess the thing is that, you know, it's helpful to know yours, but it's even more helpful to know what the other person's is,
yeah,
right?
Mhm.
Because we all have a way, we show love in the way we like to receive love.
yeah,
And
Yes.
as you said before, Debbie, that's not always how everybody wants to receive it. So
right.
you don't want to give just you know, it's like giving a gift because you like it.
Yeah,
Right? Whether, as opposed to giving a gift because you know they like it. Even if you think it's ugly or stupid,
right.
you know they like it, so you give it to them because it's what they like. And that's that whole thing about the 5 love languages, is you don't give it because that's how you like to receive love.
Exactly.
Yeah. So,
I
Exactly.
gotta go, ladies. Love you. Thank you so much.
All
Hi,
right.
Paul.
All right,
okay.
my kids.
Well,
Talk
that's
to you later.
interesting.
Yeah. Have a good night,
Good
Kyle.
point.
All right. Yeah, so play around with them. They're all a little bit different, and I'm sure there's many, many more out there, but you know, interaction with other people's important. So learning yours and
Mhm.
learning theirs and other, you know, people's, you can kind of respect where someone else is coming from. Puppy is so cute.
He said my love language. Hello.
That's funny.
Yes. Yeah, I usually leave him outside, but he was bugging Megan, so I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to bring him in here with me. Yeah, but he is a good boy.
Let's see.
Anyway, I'm sorry I was late. Sorry, we were running around and
No. That's set the recording and you can, if you want to just listen to like the first 10 minutes, you can do the meditation we did.
that's what I wanted. I was like, oh man. Yep. I will.
All right, ladies.